When I think of a first-person shooter, I think of Doom. You know what I don't think of when I think of Doom? Movies. But they made one. And a lot of people seem not to like it. And I'm one of those people. Sort of. Let's find the positives.
Doom should have worked as a movie. And the reason that is because Doom the game was exciting but easy to follow.
I don't think there's any doubt in anyone's mind that Doom the video game was revolutionary. It's one of the most inspirational games of all time. It wasn't the first-person shooter by any stretch of the imagination, but it changed the landscape of first-person shooters. And one of the main reasons for that was its violence and open-world combat.
The plot of the original Doom video game pretty much just focuses on a Marine going to Mars killing a bunch of demons. I know there's a bigger story than that, but I don't care. It's Doom. Doom is all about collecting key cards and killing demons. That's all it's ever been about for me, and that's all I've ever wanted from it.
A very simple plot structure, you can get behind it. I mean, you're there, you're on Mars, you're shooting shit. How hard could that be to put into a movie?
See, in Doom the game, you rip open a portal to hell in Mars, and it's all demons and devils and creatures like that. In Doom the movie, they went the genetic route.
There are no demons in the Doom movie, which is shocking because that's like the only thing you really need to have in that movie.
People on Mars found deformed humanoid bodies, and they took them back and did some genetic research on them, and hey, guess what? Those deformed bodies have an extra chromosome in them. Well, they're humanoid. I got a great idea. Let's see what happens when we put that chromosome into us, because obviously we're not going to have the deformities. Obviously nothing bad is going to happen. When's there going to be a good plot in a video game movie? It's not that hard.
So for that, the Doom movie really looked like a terrible film for a lot of people. Not even taking into consideration that the movie is kind of vanilla and plain at a lot of points, and is incredibly slow to get into the violent aspects of going around shooting things. It just seems to be a pretty basic film. Not even that great of an action film, all things considered.
I'm not going to beat around the bush. There's one reason to see Doom. Even though we're going to give you 3 other reasons, this is the one that made me want to see it, because I knew it was going to happen. They did a beautiful first-person action scene.
Now, I remember making fun of the scene when I first saw it in the theater. I have to admit, it kind of works, and you kind of expect it. And as a fan of the video game, you have to enjoy it. Like, how could you not enjoy it?
The first-person sequence in this movie actually looks really cool, and I'm excited to see other films attempt this. Nobody really has, but this part here I thought was interesting. A first-person sequence that feels exactly like the Doom video game.
It's the best thing in Doom, by far, and probably one of the best executed things done in movies at that time for several years.
Something I wasn't expecting to work, but it actually did. So the first positive is that Doom has a first-person sequence.
Doom is a movie that could not have been made with anything less than an R rating. Why? Because Doom the video game is an extremely violent game.
Chainsaws cutting people in half, shotguns blowing off heads, guts streaming on the floor.
I don't really care about ultra-violent video games, but Doom just kind of hit me at a sweet spot when I was a kid playing it, and it really seemed to be this game that was treating me like an adult rather than a child, and it made me mature a heck of a lot faster. So I was very happy to see that the creators of this movie didn't fall back on a PG-13 rating. They went all the way to R.
So the fact that it was a rated R movie, the fact that it had all the violence and gore that it did, was fantastic.
And they actually achieved this with a lot of practical effects, which we live in a day and age where everything's bloody CG, and it's so easy to tell at times. But Doom, practical effects.
And in fact, if you get this movie on DVD and Blu-ray now, you can probably find the unrated cut, which has even more gory sequences in it. So, the second positive is that this movie has an R rating. In every movie I've ever watched, Dwayne Johnson has always been the hero, the guy that always saves the day at the end.
So, I think everyone, including myself, went into this film thinking he was going to be the hero, he was going to be the guy to survive, he was going to be the guy to save the day.
You look at him and he's the leader of the group. So, Based off of movie logic, you assume that he's the good guy. Kind of questionable in terms of some of the decisions that he makes and some of his desires of what he wants to do, but then he turns. And it was brilliant.
At the end of this film, he just kind of really steals the show. He's this big, hulking figure with a really crazed look in his eyes, and it just works.
It showed that Dwayne Johnson, it wasn't going to be your generic action hero. He really was capable of being a villain. And you know what? It really worked.
It's something I wasn't expecting when I watched this film, and I really hope that he actually gets more evil roles in more films. He really makes a very big impression on camera.
But at the end of the day, it's Dwayne Johnson, right? This guy can do no wrong.
So the third positive is that The Rock turns.
When Doom the movie came out, there was something a little off about it, the aesthetic. See, it wasn't the Doom that people remember it being. Sure, because everybody remembers Doom 1 and Doom 2. Reddish tinge, because you're on Mars, you can more or less see everything. But in Doom 3, which was released just 1 year prior to Doom the movie, it had a different look. You're on a space station, it's dark. And well, when things are dark, you need a flashlight. So no worries there, Marine, just grab your gun and press that button to make the flashlight turn on. But what's that? You can't do two? That gun's too big, every gun's too big, and apparently, in Doom 3, duct tape didn't exist. So this created a gameplay dynamic that I personally loved, because it was a resource management of things that you shouldn't have to resource manage. But it made it great, because you're walking around with your flashlight. Oh shit, there's some kind of demon thing. Out goes the gun, down goes the flashlight, and you're shooting in the general direction and your muzzle flash shows what's going on. I thought it was brilliant.
I hate that everyone thinks I'm insane about this, but flashlights in Doom don't make sense. Doom 1 and Doom 2 are all about traversing corridors and killing as many demons as you can find, and Doom 3 throws in this flashlight mechanic that completely slows you down to a standstill. You don't feel like you're really powerful and an epic guy because you have to have your flashlight out like you're a Hardy Boy in a spooky house. That's bullshit. Doom is about you being an ultra-powerful Marine killing everything in front of you with no fear. And for whatever reason, in Doom 3, that doesn't happen.
This was something that was corrected in Doom the movie. Because guess what? There's a flashlight on the gun. It makes perfect sense. And they were able to do it in a way that still kept the tension, still kept a bit of the scares, and it was okay by me.
And I pretty much think that because of everybody's backlash about the flashlights in the video game, the BFG edition came out featuring the flashlights hooked into the guns. I can't believe it took that long for that to happen.
Don't listen to what Shane says, because the flashlight down, gun up mechanic rocked. It rocked, Shane. My God! My God! My God!
One thing I gotta get off my chest. Do not listen to Shane. The flashlight mechanic in Doom 3 is awesome.
The flashlight mechanic is crap. So the fourth positive is that there's a f***ing flashlight on the gun. So, unlike my co-hosts Terrence and Mike, who strangely have disappeared, I gotta say that Doom isn't the worst film ever made. It's not even the worst video game film out there. And if you're a fan of the original Doom franchise, like I am, you may find this movie really, really cool. It's incredibly violent, which is because of the R rating. The Rock has a very interesting turn in the film, and I really do appreciate that flashlight thing, which is good, because I think a lot more people should be agreeing with me on that fact. Anyway, Doom the movie. Something you should probably watch.
I'm bleeding.
Stay down, Mike.